Hello. How you guys doing today? I'm sure you're having a good day. Yep, absolutely. It's been a good weekend, and I want to believe you guys are making the most of it. I believe you're killing it. You're really getting it. Okay, let's. I want this to be a short one. I just love my sessions to be short, straight to the point, and direct. Find out quite beautiful. Okay, so the last time we talked about ability to follow through with your roles, regardless of the situation. It's very important. It's very important. Okay, so today we want to talk about the forex that we've not been we've not been saying a lot about. I want to show you guys something that is interesting that I'm sure you guys will have something to take on from. Okay, and that is how to determine the trend of the market. That is how to determine the trend of the market. Now, I'm sure if I ask someone, any of you guys, what the trend of this market is right now, it's easy to say it's a downtrend, right? Good. But then, with this move up here, would you say it's still a downtrend or is it now an uptrend? Now, how will you know that? How will you know when it is a downtrend and when it has changed into an uptrend? Okay, first of all, let's start from what a downtrend is. Downtrend is when we are having lower lows and lower highs in the markets. Lower lows. So this is our highest point, and it drops to a lower low. It drops to a low, right? Then we have a higher low, or I will call it a lower high. Good, a lower high compared to this one. So we have a lower high, then a lower low. Okay, rises again to a lower high because it did not beat the previous high. It is still a lower high. Then after that, this did not beat this, so this does not count as a lower low. We need a low that is lower than this. Okay, so it drops all the way to a lower high. Then we have a higher low. 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 That's the one that has out take highest momentum. All the other lows are just this move. We have this for this move. Okay, now at what point? So with a move like this, you guys will wonder why I did not pick this as my lower low. Okay, let's pick it. Let's see what's going to happen if I pick it. That's what's going to happen. Okay, so if I have this as my next lower low, that means this is going to be my next lower high. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on. It's tolerable. Then with that, this is going to be my next lower low, and this is going to be my next lower high. Then I will have this tiny one as my next lower low, and then this should be my next higher high. Then we have this move as the lowest low right now, the low. Then we have this. This will not gonna be considered as I will consider this as as the higher low. Why? Because it did not create a lower low. So only a high low that created a new lower low is gonna be the one that will be considered as the next higher low, or one that breaks the previous high. Then it's gonna be a new trend. Okay, so a lower high is only valid as a lower high if one it creates a new lower low. The lower high does not create a new lower low. If it creates a higher low, then it is not a valid lower high. That sounds a bit like a lot of words, but don't worry, don't worry. With practice, you guys will get it clearly and even more clearer. So at this point, this is the next high. Now it is not a lower high. Why? Because it is not lower than the previous high. Rather, it is a higher high. This high is a higher high. What does that tell you? It tells you that the trend has changed. It tells you that the trend has what has changed, and from the previous downtrend, the terminologies have now changed into an uptrend because we could no longer find a new a new lower high for this move. We needed a new lower high to validate the trend, the downtrend. But then what we got was a higher high. You guys remember the reason why this could not be called a lower high? Because it did not create a lower low. Okay? Because it did not create a lower low. Now this is our new higher high. This is our higher high, and with that we have a change in trend. With this we have a trend. We have a change in trend. With this we have a trend. We have a change in trend. Now with that we have a trend. We have a change in trend, and one thing that is called when there's a change in trend in our trend, that's what we call a break of structure. That's what is called a break of structure. Now, some will call it a change of character. Some will call it a change of character. And then when it actually validates by creating a higher low and then a new higher high, then they will call it a break of structure. But for me, there are two things that validate a break of structure. The first one is what just happened there, the creation of a new terminology, which is a higher high compared to the previous lower high that we've been having, that we have been having. Okay, a new higher high validates a change. In my book, a new higher high validates a change of structure. Now, the second thing that validates a change of structure in my books is when trend line is broken rather. Now we got the first condition, which is the creation of a new higher high. Second factor is when we have a break of the trend line. When the trend line breaks, now where's the trend line for this trend down? This is the trend line. You can see the trend line respects the lower highs. Trend line respects pivot lower highs for this move. So for this move, starting from here, then we have our trend line. Okay, so good. I think now this is the why. Now this is taking us back to the reason why I did not want to respect these small moves earlier. You can see the the pivot was broken all the way down here, and the price has to move all the way up here before it breaks the trend line. So what happens between here and here? We'll be looking at just what okay, we're not sure that it has changed trend. You know, it's really there's a lot of gap. There's a lot of money being wasted if you want to wait until it gets here before before we consider it a new trend. So that was why I did not want to consider these small moves as part of the structure for considering from up here. Now, I'll tell you the structure that this small move is part of. Okay, I'll show you the structure that the small move is a part of, and that is the structure being taken from when you take a move from this. Okay, so this is the trend line that structure is respecting. Okay, that structure is respecting this trend line. Okay, we can see now if we are talking about this trend, this downtrend, then we can see that okay, pivot got broken here, and then the trend line gets broken. That is when it goes above this line, then that is quite the distance is not too much. The distance is not too much, so it is quite reasonable to wait for this to happen before you consider it a break of structure compared to having to wait all the way up here before we can talk about break of structure. This is quite a distance. This is quite a distance. So that was the reason why I did not want to consider these small moves as a part of the market structure that started from all the way up here. Okay. Now these differences are things that you can only determine with time, basically, like with experience, you know, with your experience with time. And another reason why I did not consider them as part of this big move is because the retracement, the pullback are not very deep. They are very shallow. Look at the pullbacks. Let me show you what I meant by that. Look at the pullbacks. You can see this pullback went all the way to the 88% percentage Fibonacci. Okay, this this pullback went all the way to 79% Fibonacci, and this pullback, you know, but for this one, if I was going to respect the small moves, then look at the pullback. I wonder if this is even up to 20% Fibonacci. It's very shallow. It's very shallow. Okay, it's very shallow. That's why I did not want to consider this as a valid pivot when it comes to this move. That's why I did not want to consider this as a valid pivot. Now the only valid pivot would be this, and in line with the spirit of targeting this trend line as the breakout structure area, then this will have to move to at least this 50% area for for us to consider it, you know, for me to consider it a valid retracement as a continuation of this downtrend. So these are things that you get to understand with time and with practice, with repeated application of these things. Okay. All right. So this is this what does this mean? What does this mean? Now there's a potential for, if this trend line is broken, then we have a potential for a move up all the way to this point at least. And see, we have a zone here. So support. So if anything that makes this price breach this trend line, target this as the next rest area for the price, and that you can make your money using that opportunity. Now, how do you want to leverage that? The price could play around here. Okay, this is a whole day, so it will probably move before the end of this day. So let's watch out. Let's see what happens. We're gonna set our alert on this trend line so that when it gets crossed once, we are alerted and we can take advantage of the move on a lower time frame. Okay, so the move would look something like, anyway, depending on the price action that plays out, you know, at this point, that's what will determine how we are going to take advantage of that move, and if it's going to be a move worthy of taking. Okay, okay, because for us to do that move, we need our We need it to be a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. And okay, the breakout structure point. Okay, that's not a bad place. So it's our stop loss. So our stop loss will be this, and then our take profit will be this. So this is gonna be the trade. Then I will look out for tomorrow. Let's see. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. See how it plays out. Alright, guys. So now we're all for this session. So I'll see you all on the next one. Until then, keep the initiative, seize control, maintain control of your actions.